Hi, my name is John Smith. Welcome to Kingdom Real. And today we get to have part two with my friend Leo. So glad you're back because you've got a great story. Thank you for sharing transparently, authentically. And why don't we pick it up kind of where we left off, where you're going through kind of this dark time, and share just a brief word about that and then take it from there.
Yeah. So basically, there was a moment when I came back here and all of that. I went, I live in that basement. I will never forget about it.
Yeah.
That I went through a lot of things.
2.5 years in the basement,
Two
right?
and a half, yes. But it was a beautiful family and all of that.
Yeah.
But I went through moments where, I started getting depressed, and all of these things that happened. And I started drinking, By the way, I forgot to mention, I was processing my green card, which is like permanent resident in the United States.
Sure.
For a month with a lawyer, I was like, in dreaming about it. I was like, I gotta, if I get this, I'm gonna be close to my daughter forever.
Yeah.
And so I prayed, but then nothing came back. I sent all the papers in and nothing came back. The lawyer never showed up. And basically, I got denied.
Oh, wow.
The first time I got denied for it, for the permanent residency, which is, so you're able to work and do all
Right.
of this thing, right?
Yeah.
So that was a hard season too, so it didn't help at all for what
Yeah.
I was going through
Sure.
with losing my family and all of that. So then I found out this guy took the money, the same lawyer took the money from somebody else. So it was so bad. It was like, it wasn't just me the one
Right,
that he
yeah.
was screwing over. And then I got denied because he didn't have all the papers that I gave him when we went to the interview. So it was so painful. I was like, no, and this and that. And then, so all of that. So anyway, I found myself in this bar, how I was sharing with you. And I was alone, I started drinking a lot. And then I felt like God was somehow, how I said before, he was there with me.
Yeah.
And in a moment when I started complaining, I was like, what's up with this? Where are you? Where I'm so lonely. I'm feeling so lonely. I don't know anyone. We were doing all of this. I left my families. I left everything for you. And here I am sitting in a bar, drunk. And that was the moment when God, I felt like it's super weird, but I'll never forget it. I feel like he wasn't judging me. I feel he was just sitting next to me and he was crying next to me. So one thing I learned there is like, I felt like he kind of smiled at me because it's like, you're being honest. You're actually being vulnerable.
Yeah.
You're actually being real with me. You're actually telling me how it is and how you're feeling. You're not just being this Christian superhero that can never feel in walking in the clouds. I say my wife now, she laughs when I use that word. It's like a spiritual kind of guy that everybody is messed up and I'm good. That was not it. I think I was that before, but I learned how to just this is how it's funny because he knows everything from
He
us.
does, yeah.
Our
It's
thoughts,
not like that big revelation.
These are hard. He knows before, but he likes it. He likes it when we speak up and we say, "I need you.
He does.
I'm messed up," or you know what? I'm angry about this. I don't feel this doesn't feel good, right? So that night, that bar, still remember the name. Not gonna say it.
That's good.
To even maybe the chair where I was sitting, and it was like, all right, I gotta find a church. Gotta find a place.
Yeah.
So I started looking for churches around Grand Rapids, and I remember about this friend that I met. Wasn't even a friend then, but I met this guy. We exchanged numbers, and I said, "Hey, I'm actually back in Grand Rapids, and I know we exchanged numbers that time. I don't know if you remember me, but I'm looking for churches, and I just want to connect." And I know we talked briefly about that you write songs that I do too, and all of that. So I met a good friend, and we met, and he's like, "I live in Holland, Michigan." I'm like, "Where's Holland?" So I put in a GPS, I drove, and the beautiful snow, driving is like kind of challenging, and little car. And I got there and I met this guy, and then he was working at the place that I'm working at right now at that time anyway. So I work around that church, and I was like, this place feels good. Getting out a little bit of seeing my ex-wife, because I needed to pick up my daughter every day, and see her, which was awesome. Yeah. But then trying to get out a little bit of everything for the weekend.
Sure.
So I made a decision that day. I said, I'm going to come here. So I talked to this friend and I said, hey, I play a few instruments. I play bass, play drums. I sing, and I can lead worship too. So I just wanted to make myself available. If you need me, call me. Yeah. And I'm going to come here, support you. If you need help with anything, just why don't you just count on me? You know? And I was being intentional about it, because like I need an outlet. I need to go somewhere. I need to just get out. I don't want to go back every time to that bar. And even though I don't have any problems, I said, we're going to a bar, but I needed to. I felt like God was telling me, keep doing what you've been doing. Keep following and feeling the calling that I have given you many years ago. Yeah. Don't change for a bit that. Good. And so I had this thing that I should get a tattoo for. It says, wherever I find myself, I will serve the Lord. I said, wherever I find myself, I'm going to serve and help build his church. Wow. And it could be in a big church, a small church. And that's a reminder. I've been thinking about it these days a lot. It keeps coming back. What I get to do today, which I'm going to get there in a little bit, is bigger. The position that I'm at right now is not bigger than my calling. We're going to get there in a little bit. So, cool. But I started going to this church. Basically, it was all a God thing. I said it that way because I started singing, I started serving. It felt good, it felt fresh. And then I keep coming back to the wig. It was like, oh, I got to see this person again and all of these things. And got to go back to the basement. And then, okay, fine, it is what it is. And then went back again, met the senior pastor of the church. And the guy was so friendly. He was so easy to talk to, which sometimes it's not as easy when there's a senior pastor. It's kind of like, anyway, of a large church, and it's not that easy to talk to that person, right? But he was so different. And I was like, I want to stay here because of this guy. Wow. I like this guy. And so I keep coming back. Then I make connections with friends, and then little by little started leading more worship, and everything was coming back to life. Now, every time I came back to the basement, it wasn't that easy. So, and I had to be like, all right, I had to learn that who I am when nobody sees me is who I really am, Right?
Absolutely.
It's easy. Again, it's easy to put a smile and looking good, right?
Who are you when nobody's looking, nobody can see you?
So I found myself drunk again a few times. Okay. In that basement. And then I needed to just get out of the habit. So keep coming back. 2017. 2017, yeah. Half of the year 2017. Okay. I saw, this is kind of funny, right? I was going through my divorce already, it takes like about 6 months and all that. And, church people like to talk about other people's life too and all of that. So I needed to be careful about not dating somebody, because people that never knew me had these amazing stories about me that they never talked to me, but,
But they knew you.
It's just, it's church, right? Church life. So I don't care what you think, it's just like, I was like, I just gotta keep doing my thing, and I gotta be careful about these things too. About dating somebody while I was going through my divorce. Right. Anyway, but it got to my attention that I saw the doubters. I didn't know it was the pastor's daughter.
Oh.
I saw her once, and I was like, all right, okay. So basically, I got to meet her. Just from friends, and we connected really well. And then I remember we went to a Tigers game in Detroit. Never been in the Comerica Park, so I was there 4th of July. It's beautiful,
yeah.
beautiful. And till today, it's my favorite holiday. So it's like it was awesome, you know. And I was there with her and all the friends, and it was so funny. And I said this on my wedding too. When I said, we were sitting there, and she said, "Hey, let's go grab some food," you know. So we went and grabbed some food in the Comerica Park, you know, Detroit. And then this is kind of funny, right? But we gotta keep it real. So she went and ordered a beer and a hot dog. Okay. And at the moment she did that, I was like, I'm gonna marry this girl. Man. This is my kind of girl, you know. And, I was like, all right.
How did you know when she ordered a beer and a hot dog? That was
yes. I said on my wedding, that's my kind of girl. You know, she's not like I don't want to do this or that. You know, she was like a friend. But that's what I was looking more than dating somebody. I was looking for a friend.
Yep.
And if I were to date again, I say I want to date a friend, somebody I can have fun with and just be myself.
Yep.
Which is hard, you know, sometimes.
Yeah.
So I was being myself intentional about everything. So anyway, we started connecting more. Then after we started dating, I ended up marrying her. So
look at that, married the pastor's daughter.
Oh yeah. So
did he officiate at the wedding, or did someone else?
He did.
He did. There you go. Guess what?
So
I did the same thing.
Oh, you did?
I did. I married the pastor's daughter, and he married the two of us.
No kidding.
Yes. So we have that in common.
Oh my goodness! There you go. Wow. That's funny. So, basically, we got married and all that, and it was like, God, you know, you always have a plan. And I was like, it's like I started breathing again. You know, I started like flourishing. I don't know how can I say it, like feeling that joyfulness again of when I started dating before we got married. You know, I started dating her, going back a little bit. Right. I started feeling that he was moving mountains. I got my work permit.
Oh, it came
finally,
through. Yes.
I worked with a different lawyer. She got it done.
Perfect.
And I was waiting for so long for that. And that was a relief.
Wow.
I did break my leg though. That time couldn't work right away, so that's another story. But so anyway, I break my leg. It was so bad. Today, you know, when I look back, it was like I got to learn a few things, you know, that I didn't know before.
Okay.
And one of them is being honest.
Yes.
With God. Transparent.
Right.
Vulnerable. And vulnerable with people.
Yes.
Not with everybody. You can't be vulnerable with everybody.
No, you have to choose a little bit.
But not being close-minded to it anymore.
Yeah, good.
And to keep it real. Ooh. To keep things real. We live in a fake world sometimes. Yeah. And I know we kind of talk about it a little bit, but there's a lot of fake stuff. And it's just tiring because there's no room for being vulnerable anymore. People put like a wall and stuff. Like, you ask them, how you doing?
Oh, they're doing fine.
They're like, no, we're doing good.
Yeah.
Doing good. No, you're not. How you doing? You're doing good. They can't. They can't open that door. They can't keep it real. I wish they could, because that way they could take so many things off their shoulders.
Yes.
And journey together. Now, obviously, I have somebody that I meet every week today. I mean, every week, once a week.
Okay, good.
That I pray for. He's a mentor, a good friend of mine. I share everything with him. Yeah. Everything.
That's very wise.
And I think it's the best thing I've done.
Mm.
He's a good friend. I love him,
Yeah.
and I'm grateful that I had to learn again, to be honest,
Mhm.
to be vulnerable, to keep it real. And the biggest one was to learn how to worship him
Oh, tell
And-
me about that.
from the valley.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy when you're on the top of the mountain in
Yeah.
your life, when everything goes well. Man, you're feeling good, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're feeling good, and yeah, it's everything. Yeah, let's do everything. But when you're down,
Yeah.
right there, it's not as easy.
Right.
And I had to learn how to worship and to surrender, because when you worship, it takes surrendering.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
it takes surrendering. You think about it. Worshiping is surrendering.
it is.
Raising your hands is surrendering.
Yep.
Singing His name and saying I need you is surrendering.
Right.
And I didn't feel like doing it, but I had to do it. I had to. And it helped me so much to understand and view view it in a different way.
Right.
You know, so it's like that was something crazy, yeah, to
Wow.
learn during
Yeah.
the process. Yeah.
Because then, as you're actually worshiping, you can lead others into that experience as well.
Yeah, yeah, and the cool thing about the church is like a lot of broken people come, and
Dude.
they need to have an encounter with Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
How do you have an encounter with Jesus?
Yeah.
When you keep it real, when you make room for vulnerability,
Mm-hmm.
and when you like open a door for people to be able to actually talk about stuff. And you cannot do that in a service, of
Mhm.
course, which is, you know,
Yeah.
everybody wants to go home quickly
Yeah.
sometimes. But if I have 5 minutes, I want to use those well
Yeah.
to lead you in worship and to connect, to help you connect somehow and serve you, to
Mhm.
connect with Jesus,
Yeah.
have an encounter with Him.
I wonder, you brought your guitar with you.
Yeah.
I wonder, would you be willing to play a song that you wrote and
Yeah.
kind of lead just the two of us in worship and let others watch and join in? What do you think?
Sure, I would love to do that.
Okay.
I would love to do that. This song, I wrote this song thinking about my dad.
Okay.
Actually, the picture I showed for the cover of the song, and I was thinking of him because he was so messed up. But there's one thing that I learned from him, and it was, hey, it doesn't matter how many times you messed up. That's what he told me literally the 3 days when I went to see him. He was 2 weeks in the hospital. The last 3 days, I went to see him in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
He grabbed my hand. He said, "Life is gonna try to push your hand the opposite way. You fight it back." He said, "And if you fail again, fight it back again."
Oh, wow.
He said, "Don't let the world." He said, "It's just what he said." He was dying.
Wow.
Don't let that take away who you are. And so he said, "My Jesus, even though I messed up and I asked for forgiveness from you and your mother," he said, "Hey, one thing I have learned this year is like I was never alone."
Wow.
And that's yeah. So I did that a minute. When I wrote this song, I thought about him. I thought about myself in that basement. I thought about friends that struggle every day with drugs and alcoholic people that I love to see. I meet them at bars sometimes. Where like it's just I like that, you know.
Yeah.
I love my brothers and sisters at church, but I think sometimes you need to meet different people that are broken, right?
Mm-hmm.
That
Amen.
and journey with them.
Yeah, for sure.
And anyway, so I wrote that song thinking of my dad, and it's called My Defender. You know, and I'm gonna share it with you guys.
Thank you.
trust myself, you still believe in me. You don't see me as a failure. I'm your biggest victory. And when I feel forgotten, you find me in the silence. Your word and love remind me that you will always hold me. For when I'm weak, you remain stronger. And if I fall, you will not forsake me. You'll never leave me. Oh, my precious Jesus, you are my defender. You'll fight for me. Oh, you'll fight for me. Oh, you're not here to judge me. You're still working in me. You will fight for me. Oh, you will fight for me. Oh, my heart is open wide. Do what you need in me. I know you don't want perfection, but you want eternity. Oh, for when I'm weak, you remain stronger. And if I fall, you'll not forsake me. You'll never leave me. Oh, my precious Jesus, you're my defender. You'll fight for me. Oh, you'll fight for me. Oh, you're not here to judge me. You're still working in me. You'll fight for me. Oh, you'll fight for me. Oh, no, my precious Jesus, you're my defender. You'll fight for me. You'll fight for me. Oh, you're not here to judge me. You're still working in me. You'll fight for me. Oh, you'll fight for me. Oh, you're my defender. You're my defender. Whoa. You're my defender. You're my defender.
You brought tears to my eyes, brother. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What a powerful, powerful song.
Thanks.
You're keeping it real in your music and your worship. Don't ever stop.
That's good.
Wow. So you've given me hope today. And I just have a sense that you would have a message of hope for anybody listening. If you were to just kind of summarize that, what would you want to say? Where can people find hope like you have?
First thing that come out to my mind is like, never stop, never give up. It doesn't matter how life would just, go sometimes.
Yeah.
If you follow Jesus already, like he went to the cross and paid it all.
Right.
For the past, for the present, for the sins that you will mess up in the future. Don't stop. Don't cancel that.
Right.
That's already paid off. For the people that don't know Jesus, there's place for you always.
Yeah.
Because he came for the messed up. He didn't come for the perfect people. We are the church. Congregating is awesome. It's great. But again, we gotta keep it real, We gotta keep it real, and I'm keeping it real for somebody that don't know Jesus to tell him, to tell her. It doesn't matter how messed up you are. He will pick you up always. And we're all a work in progress. How I was singing,
Yeah.
He doesn't, you don't see us as a failure. We're your biggest victory.
Yeah.
He paid it all. And then he cares more, he doesn't care much about perfection, how perfect you are, because we're not.
Right.
He cares more about eternity. That's why he wants you to keep going,
Yeah.
We're all messed up. I'm still messed up person. That's why I need his grace. That's why I need his love. That's why I seek him. That's why I go. That's why I try to connect with him. Because it's more of a relational thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
And I would say the last thing. Find somebody that you can talk to and be vulnerable and be honest and journey with that person.
Yes.
Alone you're not gonna make it. Your wife is beautiful. My wife is beautiful. She's so lovely and everything, and a good friend. But besides that, I talk with her stuff. I gotta have somebody as well that journeys with me, and I encourage her the same. Find somebody that is somebody's spiritual, somebody that can journey with you, that has experienced that. It's gonna journey with you. Again, it's just vulnerability.
Yeah.
We need that.
We do.
We
do.
People are scared of that today, and I think as churches, and this is the last thing, we gotta give a little bit more room for that. That's what brings people to Jesus. That's what allows people to use their emotions and have an encounter with Jesus.
Yeah.
But we gotta make room for it.
We do.
And we cannot judge people if they're messed up and come all broken. We gotta journey with
We
them.
need to love on them like Jesus did.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not put conditions. No. He came for all of us.
He did.
So don't give up. That was my message. Don't give up. Keep it real.
Good.
Find somebody that you can journey with.
Fantastic. Thank you.
You're welcome, man. Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. Well, I'm John Smith. Could hardly wait to see you next time.